Medieval peasants worked only 150 days in a year. No, they didn't, and anyone who suggests it has no clue about the realities of agriculture nor pre-modern societies. This internet meme originated from a recent paper written by sociologist Juliet Shaw, in which she claims that, for example, peasants were only assigned half a day's work for the Lord. She fails to understand, however, that these people she's referring to were serfs who were owned by a master. This leisurely half-day of work was mandatory, unpaid labour, whose product goes nowhere near the hungry mouths of the peasants and their families. This half-day of labour was for the Lord, and it was in addition to their already constant struggles to survive. And also, these days were long, as dictated by nature. Traditional peasants worked from sunrise to sundown, that could easily be up to 14 hours in the summer. She also leaves out the fact that these peasants also had animals to tend for. Cows, for example, need milking every morning before sunrise, otherwise their udders would burst. Baby calves and lambs would need to be cared for too. Sheep have to be sheared, hay has to be buckled into bales, irrigation water needs to be changed. There is never any time off, and it's all year round. And let's also consider the harvest season, where you only have weeks to harvest the entire crop for the year. If you fail to do so, or if there's bad weather, that's famine. The same could be said about ploughing. And furthermore, this fails to consider the periods of instability. If you live during the Carolingian or Saxon period, once you planted your seeds in the spring, it's time to pick up the sword because it's campaigning season and you need to protect your farm from barbarians. Or if you live further north, it's raiding season. It's time to board those longships. Honestly, even a very casual viewer of Clarkson's farm on Amazon would know enough to debunk this insidious myth. It's a mere modern romantic projection of the ideal peasant life that can only come from people hundreds of years removed from their agricultural roots.